I went. And he went.
Hi everyone!
Hiya.
It's raining today, so we're going to talk about how we prepare for ground handling days.
So we had a think about the last 3 weeks we spent ground handling, and we came up with 5 different areas. Mental, physical, equipment, weather and site.
Okay, so in terms of mental preparation, I always think it's good to be in a positive headspace before you either go out to fly or go out to ground handle.
If there's something on your mind, like problems at home or something that's bothering you, it might not be the best day to do it.
If I'm in a bad mood, I tend to have a worse time with the wing and then get more frustrated and have a bad time ground handling. I also really value having plenty of time to do it. If I'm in a rush or if I feel like I haven't got the time to be out there doing it, then I tend to make more mistakes and have a worse time too. In terms of fear, I think fear is a good thing. I think that a bit of adrenaline going doesn't hurt anything. But if I'm too frightened of things or if I'm not certain about what's going to happen, that'll negatively impact my performance. So I need to overcome a little bit of fear and have a little think about it first.
On the physical side, paragliding is not the most strenuous activity in the world, but ground handling is actually quite hard on your body. So I think it's good to think, am I in fit conditions, muscles, joints, that sort of thing. And also cardio, so having breaks and everything is important. Also stretches of avoiding injury, it's not something that I'm particularly good at, but I think you should do it.
We've definitely had a few sore days, haven't we, where shoulders or legs have been a little bit sore.
Yeah, and also that goes into your physiology, needing breaks, food and water, toilets, all that kind of stuff. It sounds silly, but you'd be surprised at the amount of times that we just get cranky at each other and then we realize we need a toilet or water or food.
Yeah.
Or all of them, so.
In terms of equipment, you've got to decide whether or not the wing is appropriate for the conditions. Is the wing likely to get pulled around because it's too strong for the size of the wing, for example?
And the experience as well. Are you a beginner trying to ground handle an END?
Yeah.
Make sure the wing matches the conditions and your experience.
And also make sure that you know your equipment well. You might want to do that from the comfort of your own home, like looking at the risers and just familiarising yourself with where everything is and what it connects to.
Lastly, ground handling damages your wing, but not ground handling damages your skills. So where you are on that spectrum is a balance that you have to find yourself.
Also, you've got to make sure that ground handling isn't affecting your emergency equipment. If you ground handle with your main harness, make sure you're checking regularly that your reserve is still okay.
Yeah, because you end up sitting a lot and getting dragged around. The last thing you want is then go and fly with your harness, have to deploy your reserve and there being a problem there. In terms of weather, I like to look at the week ahead, but mostly just the next day because you can only trust it so much. I look at wind strength to see if it's about right, direction, so you can pick a site, and also look at turbulence. Usually they give you a minimum and a maximum, and the difference between the two is usually how gusty and turbulent it will be. Lastly, is there any rain coming and is the wind strength increasing or decreasing? So once we know the wind direction, we can pick a site, hopefully minimizing rotor by not having big obstacles upwind. Having a really big site with flat ground might be ideal, but might not always be possible. So make sure you choose the right size for the wind conditions and also for what you're trying to do.
Once we arrive, we look out for hazards like trees, power lines, or thorny bushes, for example.
Also, is the ground flat or on a slope? If you're on the top of a slope, the wind compression might make wind speed higher and ground handling will be a bit different. So that's it. Those are the 472 steps that we use to prepare.
If you think that we've forgotten anything or there's anything that you do differently, you can leave it down in the comments below.
As always, we want to thank our sponsors, BGD and all of these lovely people on Patreon. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Dog walkers or a baby on a pram and maybe put other people at risk.
A baby in a pram in a field?
Yeah, on fucking...
Let's go for a walk, baby. Fucking baby.